So this video of my LDV 400 V8. Sorry, it's a bit stretched on the GoPro. New tyres all round. Goodyear Cargo Vector. Mud and snow. New discs and pads on the front, and new shoes and drums on the rear. It's got 4-piston calipers on the front, twin circuit. We've got 50,600 and something miles. I've just driven it 3,000 miles around France. Auto box. It's got the 4-speed with lock-up torque converter, which comes in about 40 miles an hour. Transmission temperature gauge, because it's an auto. Don't want to blow it up. Very rarely goes above 160 Fahrenheit. I had it up to almost 220 in the French Alps, with 12 blokes in the back going up a big hill. It's got the Rover 3.5 V8 twin SU carbs. I've put new leads, new plugs, new cap and rotor arm on it. Done 2 oil changes, 2 oil filter changes. I've got rebuild kits for the carbs. I just haven't got around to that. It's a rare engine number, which matches the logbook. Can't quite see it down there. It's got transmission cooler here at the front. That's where I've spliced in the temperature gauge. See underneath, there's no nasty rust, really. Only on the usual bits like the doors, around the gutter. Again, new tyres all round, loads of tread. Stock exhaust system, unfortunately, but it's still quite loud. New tyres this side as well. Can't see the drums or anything back here, but they're all new. New filler cap here. Doors have got some random paint on, missing a handle at the back, but they work. Difficult to see, I don't know if you can see the gearbox here. This is ZF for 4 HP 22. I've had these gearboxes in two 1980s BMWs, a 325 and a 528, both with very high mileage, 170 something thousand, and they're absolutely sweet. And also a Volvo 940. I had one of those gearboxes in again, 150 something thousand on that. Sweet as a nut. And this has got 50,000 on it, so it's really, really smooth. Start it up. That's a good start, isn't it? I've driven it here, it's not completely warm yet. Right, well, idle's fine. Sounds nice. It's not completely warmed up yet. Still not quite warmed up, but it'll get there. I don't know how much battery's left in this GoPro, I don't think there's a huge amount, but I'll try and so a bit of driving. On a bit of a country road, private road this bit. I have to go slowly, it's got loads of holes in it. Bear with us, I'll take it up to, I think I've got a 60 or 70 bypass just down the road. Let's hopefully it'll be warmed up by then. In the back, I've lined it with 8mm tongue-proof ply at Pine, like most of these camper conversion things. But mine's sort of, it's empty in the back. I just put an inflatable mattress in there, it saves weight, and you can do what you want in there. Put loads of stuff in it, loads of people if you want. Quite quiet. These Goodyear tyres are very, very quiet compared to the Avons that were on it before, but they were knackered. Driving around with a lot of stuff in the back, you might get down to about 14 to the gallon if you're heavily loaded, towing a trailer, or I had 40 or 50 railway sleepers in the back. Won't be good on fuel then, but generally I'm driving it around every day with not a lot in it. You know, it does about 17, 18 and up to 20, 21 on a run. So it's not tragic. I think it's quite good for something of this size, weight and age. I've just driven it around France, cruising 60 mile an hour, maybe 65 sometimes, doing 18, 19, sometimes 20 to the gallon if you're on the 60 side. I don't think it's too bad really. It's got the largest possible fuel tank, the 102 or 105 litre, I can't remember which one it is, or which option it is. But yeah, you get best part of 400 miles. I think once I've got 400 miles, but it's usually slightly under that. But you don't buy a petrol V8 for economy really. You sort of listen to the noise. You get up to 60 quite quickly for a van anyway. I don't do that very often, so otherwise you end up going to the petrol station quite often. But the auto box is really sweet, you can't fault it at all, very smooth. You'll see you get up to about 60 miles an hour, it's about 2500 RPM. And that's pretty much where I cruise it, not really any faster than that. I don't like cruising older engines much above that. Second, third, fourth, and then lock up torque converter at about 40 mile an hour, 40 limit at the moment. If you're at traffic lights, you always give the odd scare to somebody who's not expecting it. You get your foot down quickly. The people carrier who's in a rush, or the old Vauxhall Corsa or something who thinks he's going to beat you. No, he's not going to beat you if you floor it. I don't know how fast it'll go, top speed. I've had it up to almost 90 out on the continent. Just to see, but again, cruising at 60. So now we're on a road where we can go 60. So it's about 60 on the clock. About 2500 revs. A little bit of temperature in this now. Oh, only a tiny bit. the transmission will heat up a bit, but as soon as you're doing 40 or so, it locks up the torque converter and then the temperature drops off and it's barely reads, which is good for the life of the transmission. It lasts a bit longer. One of my favourite stops.